What's poppin', yo? Whether you know of Houston, Texas rapper Travis Scott because of his catchy hits, his close connection to Kanye West, family even, or because both stars have had children with Kardashians, the name Travis Scott has been exploding since his debut album Rodeo popped off in 2015. With 3 star-studded solo albums to his name, including Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight a year later in 2016, that was my least favorite, and Astroworld in 2018, it's been a continual platinum plus selling affair each time. But as we wait for the 4th Travis Scott installment, due in 2021 entitled Utopia, an unexpected smash hit was launched into his orbit. A blast from Travis's past, in fact. The song Goosebumps, that was originally the 3rd single from Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight back in 2016, and peaked at number 32 on the Hot 100. Nothing too crazy. It was on the Hot 100 for 35 weeks, leaving the charts in January of 2018. And this song got a mega remix nearly 5 years after its release from an unknown producer. To say that the new version of Goosebumps, the unofficial one that dropped on June 18th, 2020, with the official Travis Scott version on January 21st, 2021, has been on fire, is an understatement. As completely crazy as it sounds to have a rap song recycled back into our consciousness years later, it's actually not the first time that we've seen this phenomenon. Brooklyn's Guyanese-American rapper and singer-songwriter St. John saw a similar fast-forward happen on his past song Roses. I talked about this on my March 23rd, 2020 video called How St. John's Roses Became #1 Thanks to a Villager in Kazakhstan. The song that's blowing up is the remix to Roses, specifically the Imanbek remix. It is now St. John's most streamed song of all time and his highest charting of all time. It's specifically blowing up all over Europe. It's way more upbeat and faster paced than the original Roses. But who the hell is Imanbek, you may be asking? And his full name is Imanbek Zaykhanov, and he was born in 2000. He had no formal music education. His father taught him to play the guitar when he was 8 years old, and he started making remixes about a year and a half ago, learning FL Studio through YouTube tutorials. Imanbek is from Aksu, Kazakhstan, the country which was a former Soviet territory, and a city with a population of about 70,000. He called it a village. He was in school. Ironically, just like Travis's Goosebumps, St. John's Roses also came out in 2016. But Roses re-emerged in 2020 as a remix that was not only the biggest song in the UK during March of 2020, but also the most Shazammed song in the world at that time. How important was it that a 19-year-old kid from Kazakhstan named Imanbek Zaykhanov put a flip on Roses? So important that this Roses remix went on to become St. John's most streamed song ever. And let's not forget, it was also St. John's highest charting track of all time too. As of March 28, 2021, the original version of St. John's Roses has over 86 million streams on Spotify. Pretty damn impressive, right? To most other rappers recording today, that would be the sign of supreme success and a reason to move on to putting emphasis on a brand new song. But those 86 million streams are nothing compared to the over 1.2 billion Spotify streams that the Roses Imanbek remix has rang off with. In fact, that isn't even the end of the insanity. In 2021, the remix of Roses by Imanbek managed to win a Grammy Award in the Best Remix Recording, non-classical category. Yes, you heard that right. A real-life Grammy Award was won in 2021 for a song from 2016 that wasn't even nominated for a Grammy during its initial run. Now we're talking about a constantly cash-registering and international award-winning monster hit remix released on September 18, 2019, for a song that was already 3 years old. Colombian singer J Balvin even hopped on a second version of the Imanbek remix of Roses on July 17, 2020, which has already racked up over 23 million Spotify streams in its own right. What does this insane expansion of St. John's Roses have to do with Travis Scott's Goosebumps remix though? Quite a few things, as a matter of fact. For starters, both Travis Scott's Goosebumps and St. John's Roses were both remixed by European producers that were virtually unknown in the North American music market at the times of their releases. Well, I think Kazakhstan might be in a different area. I don't think it's in Europe, but hey man, close enough. As I previously discussed in my video, how St. John's Roses became number one thanks to a villager, and Manbek is not only from Kazakhstan, located in the south of Russia, east of Eastern Europe, but he was a self-taught producer that learned how to use FL Studio through YouTube tutorials and only had been making beats for about a year and a half. After Manbek continued to post his own audio releases on his personal YouTube channel, St. John wasn't even initially interested in the remix until its massive impact in Europe took off like crazy. Who's the once unknown European producer that went from global obscurity to international acclaim with the remix of Travis Scott's Goosebumps? He goes by the name Hume, spelled HVME. The year 2016 isn't just the year that the original version of Goosebumps was released, it also marks the year that Hume began making beats. How big has the Goosebumps remix been for him? Put it this way. At the time that this video has been published, Hume had over 21 million monthly listeners on Spotify, making his account the 131st most listened to Spotify profile in the entire world. To put that in perspective, that currently places his monthly Spotify popularity above that of J-Lo, Jack Harlow, Tory Lanez, Rick Ross, Chance the Rapper, and also 6ix9ine. Not bad for a new producer with only 2 tracks up on Spotify at the moment, up against artists with massive catalogs and years in the game in comparison. Hume was born in Murcia, a city about 500,000 people in the southeastern section of Spain. His style fluctuates between deep house, future house, and slap house. This brings us back to the sound that blew up both Goosebumps and Roses through the roof. These 2 rap songs both had slower vibes in their original versions, but once Goosebumps and Roses got their house music makeovers, they became feel-good, up-tempo anthems with instant dance floor appeal. And let's not forget about their astronomical streaming numbers as well. But what are the main differences between the original Goosebumps of 2016, a track that Travis has said to have written in his bedroom at one of the darkest times of my life, and the Goosebumps Hume remix of 2021? For starters, that dynamic Kendrick Lamar verse from the 2016 Goosebumps has been bumped off, keeping the focus solely on a smaller sample size of Travis Scott's vocals. At 8 times platinum, this was more of a growing hit than an actual hit. Like I said, it peaked at number 32, but it's pretty much damn near diamond now. Hume has helped Travis Scott achieve his second biggest song of all time, just under Sicko Mode featuring Drake, that has achieved diamond status. But how well did that original Goosebumps perform upon its release? Goosebumps made its debut entrance onto the Billboard Hot 100 at number 92 during the week of September 24, 2016. Then later on, Goosebumps bounced back onto that chart numerous times and peaked fairly modestly at number 32, making it the 3rd time that Travis Scott had a top 40 hit on his hands. This is obviously nothing close to the lightning-fast multi-platinum lifespan of the Hume remix. The original was certified gold in the first month of 2017, and then on March of 28th, 2017, it was announced by Travis Scott himself that Goosebumps had bumped its way up to platinum. There have been multiple ways that this track has pushed its way into the public eye. First of all, Travis got Goosebumps in the Guinness Book of World Records by performing it 14 times in a row on May 15, 2017, during a show in Oklahoma City, then breaking his own record less than a week later in Cleveland on May 21st, 2017, rocking out Goosebumps 15 times. This dethroned the Throne members Jay-Z and Kanye West that originally held the record for performing their monster hit, Niggas in Paris, 12 times, literally in Paris, during their Watch the Throne tour. Then the following year in 2018, Goosebumps became a song featured in the feature film The Hate You Give, starring Amanda Stenberg, Regina Hall, Common, and Anthony Mackie. The Travis Scott and Kendrick Lamar Goosebumps joint had about 4 years to rock the airwaves. It was one of the most consumed songs of 2017 across all genres, and it accumulated over 600 million YouTube plays of the official music video. But what do we know about Hume and his incredible rise to recognition? Honestly, not much at the moment. The name Hume is said to be a combination of his civil name, which in Spain means his citizen name, and also the Scottish philosopher David Hume, who lived way back between the years of 1711 to 1776. On June of 2020, the remix of Goosebumps released through the Lithuania HQ record label really thrust Hume out far and wide into the music landscape. This is after many years of making his moves quietly in the house genre. This Goosebumps remix must have given him way more than real goosebumps when it eventually got Travis Scott's attention later on and became Hume's first global breakthrough. Now his career has legs to stand on and plenty of attention directed his way. Basically, Hume snatched up what he felt were the catchiest pieces of Travis Scott's trap hip-hop original, cut the running time of the original song practically in half, and put them back together with a darker and faster thump that could really whet the appetite of electronic dance music DJs all over the world that may not normally have a reason to even play Travis Scott to begin with. Goosebumps has risen onto the US radio charts after taking over Europe, including the top 25 on Mediabase's pop radio airplay chart, and has cracked the top 20 in countries like Denmark, the Netherlands, and Belgium. Does the undeniable success of Travis Scott's Hume remix of Goosebumps and St. John's Imambek remix of Roses signal a growing trend of radio-friendly remix of hip-hop and R&B songs with EDM vibes for international appeal? Well, it would certainly seem that way if we add in a third track that used a similar strategy. Jay Sean's song Ride It, that was given the remix treatment by Regard, a Kosovo-Albanian DJ born in Yugoslavia. The story behind Ride It goes even further back in the days, because the original version was released by Jay Sean, the Punjabi Sikh singer from London, on January 21st, 2008, also a Cash Money signee, fun fact for those who may not remember or were too young, as the first single from Jay's second album, My Own Way, which was his first project after leaving Birdman's Cash Money empire. Was My Own Way a major success from a commercial point of view? Not particularly. It did do better in the United Kingdom and other parts of Europe than it did in the United States and Canada. Critics at BBC Music, The Guardian, and AllMusic all gave it mixed reviews. After selling silver in the UK, Jay Sean's My Own Way sold under 400,000 copies worldwide. With this level of a so-so sales performance, it must have come as a major surprise when Ride It re-emerged as a remix by Regard, especially over a decade later in 2019, after the song's initial 2008 release occurred. Regard's Ride It remix blasted its way all over the internet, on the Sony-affiliated Ministry of Sound label, and was able to flex its muscles on the platform none other than TikTok in a major way. It snatched up over 10 top 10 chart positions around the world, which included hitting number 2 in the United Kingdom as a platinum song, and it even had a TV performance take place on the widely recognized Top of the Pops television show in the UK. With representation from Leaf Management, the Kosovo producer and DJ Regard has his team in place to take over. It's not just about the over 780 million Spotify streams that he's racked up for Ride It, a very old song. There are also those 221 plus million streams alone for his song Secrets featuring Ray, which is now her second biggest song on Spotify. Regard is also responsible for Say My Name featuring Dimitri Vegas and Like Mike with over 50 million streams on the Spotify platform alone. There's one highly successful music industry executive that has also been highly responsible for pushing the gas pedal forward and waving the victory flag for his renaissance of European EDM remix flips of hip-hop and R&B songs. His name is Wolfman Boss, and Boss is also what he is in his career as the executive vice president of A&R at Sony Music. Born in Germany and based in London, Wolfgang's in the unique position to have his ear open early to European producers and the market. What has his resume been looking like on the EDM music side of things? With over 50 astronomical hits happening on his watch, Wolfgang Boss has been involved with the production and releases of Pitbull's I Know You Want Me, Major Lazer, Get Free, Sean Paul and Arash, She Makes Me Go, Kygo and Selena Gomez, It Ain't Me, Kygo and Miguel, Remind Me to Forget, and J Balvin and Willie Williams, Mi Gente. But there are 3 other major pieces of history that Wolfgang Boss was also involved in. The St. John Roses remix in 2019, the Jay Sean Ride It remix by Regard in 2019, and the Travis Scott Goosebumps remix in both 2020 and 2021. Believe it or not, yes, it is true. All three of these EDM remixes that we have been talking about have come across the desk of Wolfgang Boss at Sony Music. He signed artists like electronic music stars like Kygo from Norway, Paul Kalkbrenner from Germany, and Martin Garrix from the Netherlands. Wolfgang Boss has made such a killing from the growing electronic music remix trend of past rap songs, R&B songs, and even older EDM songs as well, that he even has his own music imprint on Sony called B1 Recordings, which allows him to get a cut of the profits from the master recordings. What makes Wolfgang Boss take a chance on a song flip like Hume's initially uncleared bootleg of Travis Scott's Goosebumps and turn it into an authorized situation? Boss has said, "It's not about the amount of streams. What I look at is the skip rate, and more importantly, the collection rate, meaning how many people who listen to a song add it to their own collections or playlists. It's always a combination of good data and classic A&Ring, because there are a lot of songs that have good data, such as a low skip rate, but if the song doesn't excite me, I won't sign it." Wolfgang has made it his unique hit-building superpower to pinpoint unauthorized remixes that check all the boxes for him, so showing strong key performance indicators, or KPIs. He's able to sign them under the Sony umbrella before even having the rights to the vocals or the samples, and make that happen for the producers after the fact. How did Wolfgang Boss help turn the Goosebumps remix by Hume into what it is today? Boss said, "I called Sylvia Rohn, who's the label boss of Sony-owned Epic Records, and told her I thought the track had potential. Keep in mind, this is around the time Roses was doing well all over the world, so that helped too." Sylvia Rohn sat down with Travis, and obviously by then he noticed the track, especially once the track was added to today's top hits on Spotify. He and his team agreed to make a new version with him. Speaking of older music from 2008 like Jay Sean's Ride It that has been given a new lease on life, Toronto hip-hop legend Cardinal Offishall was pleasantly pleased in 2021 to see his 2008 hit song Dangerous with Akon take off in a big way on the TikTok social media platform. Thanks to the over 380 TikTok videos that have made use of Dangerous for their background music. Cardinal not only took notice and talked about it on Instagram, but he also decided to get in on the action himself and start his own TikTok account, which has been garnering attention with his hilarious videos from his point of view as a grown man using TikTok for the first time. Much like the house music producers that are digging into the digital crates and pulling up past tracks to give them a new look, the TikTok platform craze has been turning young users into older music appreciators by them plucking older songs out of obscurity and making them hot again as soundtracks to their TikTok videos. What else has been on the horizon for remixers Imanbek and Hume since their popular flips have become hits? Imanbek didn't just begin and end with St. John's Roses. He's also worked as musical magic with Rita Ora for her song Bang Bang for her Bang EP. If anything about this song sounds familiar to you, it's the fact that it has an obvious reworking of a certain 1984 blockbuster hit movie soundtrack from Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy. But that isn't all Imanbek had up his sleeve for Rita Ora. He actually produced all 4 tracks on that entire Bang EP, including The One, Mood, and the biggest one on the set, Big, that features Gunna and David Guetta. The ultra sick impact that Imanbek has blown up with runs even deeper than that. According to his Spotify bio, Imanbek became the very first Eastern European musician to set foot in the US Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 4. He's also signed up with the Russian record label Effective Records in 2018, very soon after the song took off, and has more than destroyed any notions that he's a one-hit wonder. His 15 minutes of fame from St. John's Roses remix has turned into hours of music, hundreds of millions of streams, and the ability to tap in with massive big names in the music industry to put in work. Imanbek can now count Usher, Tory Lanez, Fetty Wap, Marshmello, Afrojack, Zara Larsson, and Martin Jansen as clients. What global region does Sony Music's Wolfgang Boss think will be home to future remix flips becoming hits? Wolfgang told Variety magazine his prediction: Russia. They are so open in regard to rights there. It's so common in Russia, even for radio stations, to take a track, then make a mix, and then just make another mix and play it on the radio. They don't like slow songs in Russia, so they just remix pop songs and are very carefree with that. And they just don't have the mindset where everything needs to be cleared. It gets put out on YouTube or VK, Russia's domestic version of Facebook, And that's kind of the environment where creativity blooms. With producers in far-reaching corners of the globe no longer needing super expensive recording studios or top-notch engineers to mix and master their creations, more and more bedroom producers are popping up all over the planet, with similar stories as Hume and Imanbek. Whether it's house music remixes or songs on TikTok getting Shazam like crazy and boosting up their popularity again to have a second life, it's fair to say that in 2021, we're watching the old become new again in hip-hop and R&B with EDM. But let me know what y'all thought about this video in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Peace.